Well, it's the economy, stupid. Some famous politician once said that. And, I just was talking to Jim Rogers about this YouGov survey in Iowa. 40% of the voters there are saying that the economy is actually getting worse. Only 18% say it's getting better. So maybe that explains the Bernie Sanders surge over Hillary. I mean, listen, he has been the only guy from the very beginning talking about spreading the wealth. It's a central theme of his campaign. Liberals in England, by the way, over the weekend overwhelmingly picked the socialists as their leader. So it seems maybe it's likely Democrats could do the same thing here. Chris Hahn, former aide to Senator Chuck Schumer, progressive radio host, and Kirsten Haglund, former Miss America, and Styrk anchor joins me right now. Chris, you've said over and over again that Bernie Sanders can't win, and every time you come back, he's up another 10 points. Pretty soon, he'll be winning 99% to 1. I mean, come on. When are the Democrats going to take him, a guy like you, an establishment Democrat, going to say, you know what, Bernie is real, and the Democratic Party has moved so far left that even I don't recognize him.
I'm a progressive, not a partisan, but I will say this. Look, I don't think he's really running. I think he's running to prove a point. And I think when the party comes home, which it always does, they will come home to an establishment candidate. If you add up Hillary's number and you add up Biden's number, that is the majority right now in the Democratic Party.
And the Iowa poll, this YouGov survey did Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. They also had a part in there. If your secondary candidate, and you can't take Biden's numbers, Kirsten, and give them to Hillary because most of them were gone to Sanders.
To Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of politicians and people entrenched in just looking at Washington say, oh, we'll always come home to this establishment candidate. Republicans are saying that too, right? Discount Trump. It's still really early. We'll head home to someone establishment. But people are angry. You cannot discount the voters in these early stage states. They're upset and they're looking for an alternative. And, we look at Bernie Sanders and Trump, the things they're saying are going, what are you saying? But people are angry, and that's why they're drawn to these
discount the wisdom of Iowa and New Hampshire as the early state primaries.
Are you serious?
Quite frankly, I don't think they should be given that role in our government right now.
Right, the primary system needs to be reformed.
Absolutely.
We know that, but that's the system we have for at least
why isn't New York or California or Illinois or Florida or another major state or Texas?
That's a whole different issue. It needs to be reformed.
Those are all good states that reflected. They're great proxies for the country. Listen, it is what it is, and let's face it, they do set the tone. When a guy named Barack Hussein Obama beat Hillary in Iowa, it really destroyed everything. Even though she won New Hampshire, it was the worst.
Well, Rick Santorum won Iowa 4 years ago, and where was he at the end of the day? Where is he now in Iowa? I mean, Iowa is really not really a bellwether for Republicans as much as it is for Democrats.
But we're talking about the Dems right now. We're talking about Hillary Clinton, who is plummeting. She is in complete free fall mode.
She's got to reform her campaign.
How does she do that? Can she reinvent herself overnight?
One, Bill Clinton needs to hit the trail. Bill Clinton needs to be out there campaigning in Iowa for Hillary now. I don't know what's taking him so long. I don't know why he's not out there, but it's getting late early, to quote Yogi Berra, and I want to see some changes in that campaign right now.
I don't know. I don't think the answer is bring back more people from the old political school to reinvigorate this campaign. I mean, see who Bernie Sanders is appealing to, and Donald Trump. It's young people. Right. It's this groundswell of people that are frustrated with the establishment. So I don't think that's necessarily the answer. We haven't even seen a debate yet, too. That's the other thing. And we still don't know anything about Joe Biden. So it's still super early. But this tells you something about the voter.
Here's the thing, though. One thing that we are seeing, though, is that we don't know. I'm still having a tough time grappling with who Hillary Clinton is. What does she represent outside of the notion that she should be president because she's a woman? I
think she and her campaign are still trying to figure that out. And when you don't have a solid identity, you don't have a brand you can market. And that is the problem, because she has been working in so many different capacities. She doesn't have a marketable single brand.
Her identity is that she is experienced and she's ready to lead on day one. Even Marco Rubio said she was the most experienced person running for president.
But people don't want that. Look at who they're supporting. They don't want that. They want someone outside of Washington.
They don't have to vote yet.
No, I know. We'll all see next year. We'll all see next year.
We'll see, guys. But right now, political experience seems to be more of an anchor instead of.
Bernie, 32 years in Congress. I mean, that's political experience.
I tell you what, he's also had an independent streak all of those years.
Absolutely.
He's been a thorn in the side of the establishment Democrats. Thanks a lot, guys.